Oh, hey, hi, hello, we're here. Welcome on in. You're Warren, I hate you. Take your experience and shove it somewhere else.
Am I Kendrick
Roasted.
Beecher?
exactly. Um, but thank you guys so much for coming, hanging out. Really do appreciate it. Everyone who came by, if you guys are here from the live show that we did at Gen Con, make sure to hop in chat. I hope you guys had a good little bit of a break after the craziness of Gen Con. I know we did. But we're going to go around the room, introduce who we're going to be playing this evening as we hop back into the wonderful, horrible sadness that is Hunter versus the craziness of Indy by Night Vampire Edition. You know what, Warren? So I don't throw you off like I did at the live show. You can go ahead and kick us off this time.
He really did throw me off at the live show. Hi, I am Warren, and I am playing Brick. Brick is a hunter who is very focused on the martial side of things. If I think we decided if this were a Scooby Doo game, he'd unfortunately be Scrappy Doo.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, Next up, we have, excuse me, Justin.
Hi, I'm Justin. I'll be playing Katrina Foster. She is an investigative type personality who trains dogs, and if she was in Scooby Doo cast, she would definitely be Velma.
It's based.
Jinky.
Jinkies indeed. Um, and last but not least, just kidding, Ian's still here. We have Rob.
All right. Hi, I'm Rob. I'm going to be playing Jonas tonight, who is the type of hunter with a lot of faith in humanity. And he, for some reason, tonight is going to be looking out for holes into the dark and endless night.
Allegedly. Um, and then now, last and certainly least, not least, certainly last but not least. That's the one I was trying to go for. Words are difficult. Hey, Ian, go ahead and describe who you're playing this evening before I inevitably have you walk through a portal.
Your words have barbs and they hurt. Now, I'm Ian. I'm playing Riley. Just always getting into some sort of trouble and trying to not get into trouble, but also trying to get into trouble. If they were involved in the Scooby Doo cast at all, they would. I was told that they would be Shaggy. So there we go. Game on.
Seems pretty based.
We also did use you as bait. You could be Daphne if you really wanted to be.
I could.
Nah. I'm uncomfortable with how much this is likely making Fred.
Well, hold on. There's Hannah still exists, and I think she's definitely Fred out of all of this.
That's fair. That's
How
fair.
many ascots does Jonas own?
That's fair.
That's a steep question. To answer it right.
0. He might have owned some in the past life, but he had to thrift store him.
That makes sense.
I respect
You
it.
pass.
Last episode we had a very action-packed episode as you guys had made your way back to the house and was able to go ahead and fight what you guys have labeled the Monstero. And you guys were able to, thanks to Brick being insane with some dice rolls, absolutely just obliterate this monster. And as the gunfire rang out, you guys definitely made sure to GTFO real quick. Before things got too hot for you guys. And so that's sort of where we're picking up. Oh, actually, I take that back. You guys went to the hospital like some sane individuals, as you do. And we're going to have to look at some new rules here on regaining some hit points. So let me get the book pulled up as you guys spend some time in the hospital treating, severe puncture marks, some minor, acid burns from the creature exploding shortly after. So let me go ahead and get that pulled up here.
Nah, that'll buff out. You'll be fine.
I mean, you guys don't have to.
I feel like Trina had a giant hole in her shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty much.
allegedly.
She was in pretty bad shape.
There was at least a shirt stuffed into that hole. I think it was Riley's.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm helping. I hope. Don't die.
Was the
Please?
story some sort of like sporting vehicle accident?
Yeah, we said it was a car accident that I had taken. I called it in on the way to the hospital. Basically, you guys have been splattered with battery acid, and I'd been had a thoracic puncture.
Thoracic
Giant
Park, even.
scorpion that happened to be in your car.
Ian, take 1 point of superficial willpower damage for that joke.
And if I refuse,
No, not your
Take
character.
5.
You.
You
Oh.
personally.
ow.
All right. At the beginning of the session, Who-Mans can remove a number of superficial damage level up to their stamina rating on the health tracker. So if you guys have any superficial, you can reduce up to your stamina.
No, that's oddly not relevant.
Nope.
I figured it wouldn't be, but I would like to go ahead and put that out there. All right. I will make some rolls here for you guys.
Saying I'm 90% sure that Riley somehow got out of that unscathed. So
I think you were running away the whole time.
I was helping.
Is that what we're calling it now?
I was told get close to the thing and see if you could sense it, and I tried.
All right. Let's see here. Let's see here. Hospitalization avoids the needs for more dice rolls, but injuries take the patient's total aggravated damage in weeks to heal. So Trina, I have a question. How much aggravated damage did you have?
I believe I took 3.
Okay,
Let me double check that though.
you're good.
Yes, I took 3 aggravated.
Okay. And then also, you guys can also regain superficial willpower damage for composure or resolve, the highest. You can go ahead and regain that as well as we get our bookkeeping taken care of.
I believe that Morgan and I both took 2 aggravated.
Yes, so you guys will be in the hospital for a solid 2 weeks as you guys get treated properly for your acid burns. Brick, you were fine. It was all great in the hood. I don't think you took any damage, if I remember correctly.
I was not gonna rub that in, but yeah, I think that is the truth. Brick is still really confused, and warrant the players also. Like, I did not expect to be able to take that down with bullets.
I also was not expecting you to take that down with bullets, but when you hit like 9 or 10 successes, I can only do so much.
Yeah, I mean, determination is a thing.
It is a hell of a drug. So I guess my question is to start off with Brick and Riley, the nephew and uncle. Anything you guys would like to do for the next 2 to 3 weeks while the rest of your cell is healing in the hospital?
I mean, could be a cool time for Brick to teach Riley how to shoot.
Gun montage.
Yeah, I think that laying low is probably Brick's like number one thing. So I think he would invite Riley out to the cabin, and they would spend the 3 weeks fishing, hunting, eating, and generally just sort of bonding over whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
Question: does Brick do drugs?
Brick would probably say no, but also like drinks quite heavily. So yes.
Cool. Follow-up question: are we actually? Is this a training montage, or are we just out there on like a bender?
Yes, and it's a training your liver montage for Brick.
Brick has also seen some stuff, so Brick probably doesn't do any kind of like party drugs, but I bet he chills.
That's fair.
Wonderful. I love that for the two of you. Because of you guys laying low in different capacities, um, danger and desperation both have dropped to 1. While you guys have laid low and the heat has sort of died down from you guys. So congratulations. Things aren't nearly as bad as it looks. But the 3 weeks go by. And you guys are all released from the hospital if you had any sort of hospital visits. What would you guys like to do?
As soon as Trina was able, she definitely would be kind of digging, even in the hospital, if she could get her hands on a laptop, just seeing if she could find the information, connections between that castle and, that family.
Yeah. Um,
I think that Jonas would also probably be reaching out to Jen to ask her if she could drop off his notes from his office and installing Pac-Man on his phone so that he can practice eating ghosts.
Beautiful. I love that. All right. As you guys are in the process of getting stuff sort of set up and stuff like that, Morgan says that she is going to try to go and dig into some information. But she wants to continue sort of laying low because of everything that sort of happened recently. Doesn't love the attention that she's sort of getting, and definitely wants to start working behind the screen a little bit more. So she's going to go ahead and still be available to you guys if you guys need anything, but is going to be the person behind the laptop for a little while.
Gonna be our person in the chair, huh?
Exactly. And just to confirm, for Jonas and Trina, are you guys wanting to have that brought to you while you guys are healing inside the hospital? This point was like to fast forward to the 3 week when you guys are released.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
So I didn't know if you guys wanted to do that while in the hospital and then have that information ready to go when you guys are out.
Yeah, I have at least one action that I'd like to do that's going to take me a day, and I've got many days of not doing exciting stuff to do it.
Yeah, go ahead and make that library roll there for you. DC on this is, I think, if it's GM set, it's going to be 4 for you.
It is GM set.
Okay. And Trina, you wanted to get a laptop to look and see if you can find any sort of information about that castle and the family, if there's any sort of ties.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, do some reverse image searches and, try to track the name because I didn't have names, but I had photos, right?
Correct. You just had the
so...
family photo of them all before, and then they had the photo that was sent to you from Morgan of the castle.
I'll probably start with like websites like Find a Grave and Ancestry.com and trim all the pictures out individually, put them in the reverse image search, hoping that I can start aggregating names. I'll build a database of any names I can find and then try to reverse search those names correlated with Transylvania and that castle. And I hate the fact that I'm saying this, Dracula.
Yeah, please go ahead and roll intelligence plus technology here. I know that's probably a fantastic roll for Trina.
Technology part's a little rough.
But it is going to be a little bit of a more difficult DC here. We're looking at a 3 for you, Trina.
All right, I'm gonna have to max it.
And you do have a single desperation die if this is something that you are able to use it on.
I mean, it's look. Gathering information while on a hunt.
Yeah.
Research, breaking and entering.
Yeah, I would allow it. If you would like to.
What happens if I fail? Desperation goes up?
Desperation will go up. No. Danger could possibly go up. And you do fall into despair. So there's that.
Okay. We'll just roll the dice with what we got.
I respect it.
If you're succeeding with it, you can choose to fail to go into despair rather than having danger go up.
Gotcha. What the? Oh, well, that's a success.
Ooh. Wow. 3 on 3.
Add them all together. Yeah.
I think it's because you put the spaces between the greater sign.
Oh shit! You're probably yep. You're right.
But either way, that's still 3 successes, which is beautiful. As you dig through it, you're looking, and the only connection they have to anyone at that castle, and it's not even like the castle itself that they have a connection to, but the great grandmother of the female who had gone missing, as her dad had said, was from Transylvania and has a plot there.
When you say plot, like plot of land?
Like a grave plot.
Or okay, gotcha. I want you all to pay attention to the fact that he said has a grave plot, not is buried there.
Consider it noted. Now, there's been lots of clarifying questions asked on my side today that have been met with lots of half-truths, and I feel double speak. I don't know what you're speaking of, but I do, because I made the story. That kind of stuff.
Allegedly, is all I'm saying.
There it goes.
It's not how it went.
Do I have any other names that come up that I could possibly feed to Morgan and also Jonas that they could run through their kind of resources?
Let me take a look. Yes. You have. Sorry, getting it pulled up here. where. It is a Elena Funar.
Spell that for me if you would.
Yeah, Funar is Funar.
Okay.
And that is
And
the great grandmother's name.
is that maternal or paternal grandmother?
Maternal.
That checks out.
What do you mean?
And I would also text that information to Jonas.
Okay.
As I'm uncovering things. Since we're in the hospital, besides playing words with friends with each other, I'm sure checking back and forth any data we can find.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Between, hushed conversations of, we shot a ghost. We shot a ghost and it worked.
Rick shot a ghost.
Rick killed
We
a
almost
guy.
Kill the
died.
guy.
Rick shot a ghost, but still, it's not supposed to work.
Yeah, I'm just afraid it's going to lead to him being like over enthusiastic next time.
All right, and Jonas, you got 4 successes on
Yep.
your library use. As if you dig through your notes from listening in over some conversations through people at the clinic, you do find that the individual that you are looking for, or the new owner of that bar, is a individual by the name of Derek Brink.
Sketchy.
Seems like a nice guy.
Total loser.
Okay.
And that was equal to the DC, so you do not get any additional information. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I had exceeded it, I could potentially get the margin in use on identifying identities and layers.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely a very charismatic individual. Likes to throw a lot of parties and likes to be at those parties.
Okay. So I would pass that along to Trina and be like, so this is related to our other maybe problem. This is the person who, if they decided that they were going to dig into what Riley's been up to since he left the family, who I think would be digging.
Okay. That's good to know, Sugar. I think I would then kick that over to Morgan and ask her to start doing a deep dive into this guy's finance, any other properties he might own. We just need to build a dossier on this guy.
Perfect. Then if you could, any kind of, for tonight, while Morgan is not here, if you guys could just make a note of things you want her to research, and then we'll go ahead and put it in the chat so that way she can get the chance to roll those and get sort of play throughout the week. As she begins to compile all this data for you guys, because that seems fun way to include her throughout the week. Anything else you guys would like to do while you guys have time in the hospital?
So maybe before going out on my 3-week bender with Brick, I would like to kind of review some of the stuff that's still in Riley's name. And just start to kind of, because I have 2 dots of resources on the sheet, so just kind of Riley kind of going through stuff and seeing what's around and what's not and what's available and what needs to get purged and that kind of stuff. However we want to handle that, we can talk about that later if need be or whatever, but it's kind of the thought.
Beautiful. Brick, anything you would like to do specific before we jump to current proceedings?
So I don't think that Brick really had any real insight into the other investigation.
Mhm.
I would think sort of in the middle, like laying low for a while, but obviously would have to reach out at some point to see how everybody was doing. Um, so would ask if they needed anything or if they had anything they wanted Brick to do beyond lay low, and if not, then no, he'll just take some well-earned rest.
Perfect.
What happened to your hand?
I don't think, well, we don't know, and I don't think that there's any real way for us to get back in touch with the handler, is there? I don't think that's how that worked.
No, you guys usually, at least with him, a lot of times he reached out to, he got a hold of you when he had stuff he needed to take care of. It wasn't the other way around.
Typically through blind drops, he
Yeah.
would just leave us packages with details of what we were after.
Sure,
If
but
there
if
was a
he's read into
particular,
this whole
sorry, I didn't mean
sorry,
to cut you
go
off.
ahead, go ahead, Warren.
Um, so if there were particular blind drops that we regularly use, right, to
Mhm.
see if that handler had worked, I would absolutely put checking that into my rotation.
Yeah.
Did we ever learn the handler's name?
Yes, he went by J, the letter.
Gotcha, but we didn't have any additional information other than
Nope.
that.
Very much. You guys only worked with him 1 or 2 times before.
Well, we
also
only met
being-
him once.
right, before also being gunned down by SI together.
Yeah. They tried.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I would ask Brick to do is just to make sure, watch that house, the family's house, where I saw the ghosts, Madison Rice's parents, where the little critter spawn first popped up. Well, not first, second.
Yeah.
Just
Okay,
keep an eye
yeah.
on
Then
it.
so after a week or so of R&R, then I guess Rick will reluctantly get back into the stakeout game.
I love that for me. Um,
And Jonas would ask his people to keep an eye on the house where the Mostro was and see if anybody unusual comes to take a look at it. And would also just be trying to keep an ear open for, hey, is there like an active crime investigation around the shootings there? And do we need to worry about
Yeah, because my blood's all over that scene.
it indeed is all over that scene.
We can explain.
Obviously, Brick shot Trina.
Obviously.
Clearly.
Frick.
Wait.
First, you throw Trina underneath the bus with the dog thing, and now you throw Brick underneath the bus with the shooting of Trina. It's all just Jonas is turning
Who's-
pinky on.
Tank would have killed me if I shot Trina. Nobody would buy that.
He does have a point.
Who's really the liability here?
Yeah, it's still Riley.
Should I?
100%.
The reason I'm Scrappy Doo is because the dog is Scooby Doo.
Exactly. Okay. Go ahead and roll wits and awareness for me, Brick. DC's gonna be 3 on this.
I choose to disbelieve.
Okay, cool. You don't see anything.
See, that was easy.
See? I like it. Storytelling at its finest.
What's an awareness?
Yep.
Brick's not very good at that.
I love it.
I mean, I feel obligated to willpower that.
That's pretty close. Are you gonna willpower the 9-2 while you're at it, so you can try to hit that crit, or
That sounds like a really bad idea.
figure out it ask?
Turn it into a crit.
You're insane.
Nice.
So 5 successes. As you're, how long are you wanting to stay on the stakeout?
I feel like when Trina asks Brick to do something, he does it full on, with just no intention of ever being able to be accused of half-assing it. So I mean, I think I'd probably spend 2 weeks staking the place out.
Okay.
Man, so much for our bender.
It's just a bender inside
I
of
mean,
a
we can
truck
drink a
now.
little in the car.
I also thought that was wild that you guys both drank from a cup and that looked like the exact same cup, and that was off. Like that broke my brain.
Coordinated it.
That was wild. Some interesting things happen over the next 2 weeks, Brick. One, it doesn't seem to have noticed you, but on a couple of nights, you do see the Monstero pop out of a hole near the front of the building.
Wait. Didn't we get that already?
You sure did.
Wait a minute, that's cheating.
Hey, hey,
Now-
Brick, you shot that, right?
I did. Is it okay? I don't want to. I don't want to metagame, and I don't
Mhm.
know what Brick would know.
Sure.
But it does. Is it possible it's a different Monstero, or it looks identical?
With your critical, I will say, you can tell that it has the same shape and features, but the face and the it's going to get real gross. The face and the skin that go along this thing is a different shade. And is a different face.
There's more than one.
Yep.
Riley, it's not fair.
Nah, that's some bullshit. I mean, I'm not gonna say I watched it die because I didn't. But like, damn.
Do you think that the ghost maybe had like should we go back to oh god should we go back to the house and see if that ghost can tell us anything? Like, did that ghost have a
Mhm.
thing with more than one of these?
That doesn't sound like the worst idea I've ever heard. But I'm also trying to think what Trina would say if I was the one who brought that up. Because I feel like if you brought that up, and Trina would be like, I don't know, maybe we explore a different path. But if I would be like, hey, what if we just go back? She'd be like, that's dumb. You're dumb. Which also makes me think that maybe it's a good idea.
All right. So, okay, the house that had like the grass was dying.
Mhm.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So we can maybe drive by and see if the grass looks better. Like if it looks worse, that means the house is still bad juju. We don't go in.
No, that's valid. I'm in.
Before you head off to this new destination, there's a couple more things you notice over the course of these 2 weeks.
That one monster wasn't enough.
No. The dad, at roughly about 10:30 every night, leaves the house with a large stack of papers.
Papers.
Like he's just carrying like a large stack of papers in his hand as he gets in the car. You see him lean over, put the stack in the passenger seat, and drive off. And then he comes back roughly about 2 a.m.
With no papers.
with no papers.
Are the papers like we're talking about just like plain white computer paper? Are we legal document?
You can't really tell from this distance. You can definitely tell they're not bound in any sort of way. Like they're not bound together. They're all individual, like loose leaf.
Neatly stacked or like
Um,
crazy person.
somewhere in between.
That's weird, Riley. What do you think?
I mean, one time it's recycling, twice it's forgetting what day recycling's on, 3 times it's a compulsion.
Maybe.
And this happens nightly for the 2 weeks that you're watching.
And now, when we say every night at 10:30, are we talking like 10:30 on the dot? Or are we
On the
talking
dot.
10:30-ish?
Well, damn. I don't know.
That's weird, Dad. That's just weird.
I mean, we could ask him.
He doesn't know me. Did you meet him?
Doesn't know me.
So just like pop out like, hey bro, we've been stalking your house. You leave every day with papers. What's the deal?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, maybe a little better than that. Hey, dude, we got a homie down the street. We see you out all the time. Are you okay? Kind of one of those angles, like it's just a thought. I don't know.
No, I mean I don't know. I don't know what's weirder. Uh, I, that's weird. The whole thing is weird.
Yeah, everything's fucked. I don't know what's not weird with this.
But I feel like the giant scorpion monster is probably slightly more concerning than the paperwork.
Agreed. We could lead with that. Hey, dude, have you seen the giant scorpion monster that keeps popping out from under your house? Because I do. I just want to make sure that you know there's a big old creepy scorpion monster under your house.
I feel like on the off chance that he does know there's a creepy scorpion monster out from under his house, that's maybe tipping off the dude controlling the scorpion monster that we're aware of the scorpion monster, which is a good way to get scorpion monstered.
All right. Because I might not have been paying attention as heavy during the times when he's leaving or coming back. Does he leave around when Scorpion King shows up, or after Scorpion King shows up, or is there any sort of correlation?
No, two times you've seen the Scorpion King show up, they've been at 2 different times, but both have been after he's left.
Weird
Quick question, asking
Oh.
for a friend.
Mhm.
Are they the same scorpion monster?
You know, weirdly enough, they are indeed the same scorpion monster. The 2 different times you do see them.
Cool.
Also, weird question.
Cool.
Does the scorpion monster's skin tone match the dude's skin tone?
Ooh.
Which dude?
The
dad.
paper guy.
The dad. It does not match his skin tone.
Okay, so he's not like hulking out into a weird, spooky Scorpion King monster. I mean, that's good to know. That was a great question.
Or he is, but part of the Hulk out process is he gets a tan.
Well, Hulk turns green.
Exactly.
No, I'm here for it. I don't know.
But no,
Beavis and
probably
Butthead
not.
on a stakeout.
I'm doing my best.
Thanks, I hate it.
I got it. We go at noon.
Mhm.
We wait until like midday. Yeah, because this guy feels like he's like a work from home kind of guy. So we go like midday. Hey, just stopping by while we're close. I could try to see if I can catch a vibe off the house and see like what I can see if I can sense anything specific or not. And then if he starts to get weird, we just rough him up a little bit. I don't know.
All right, let's hold that one. I don't want to say no. Let's check the house first, the other house, but to see if the grass is cleaner, and then maybe talk to the ghost if that's not cleaner, greener grass,
Or cleaner.
or cleaner. Yeah, I don't know. The house is clean is where I was going with that in my head. Um,
House
yeah,
is
let's go
cleaner
see
on
if
the
the
other
house
side.
is safer, and maybe we could talk to the ghost because the ghost seemed to have our backs the last time.
I mean, from what Trina was talking about, yeah. But I've also never really met a ghost, so I don't know if that's like the norm, or like what if the ghost was just down with Trina?
I feel like we could find that out. I mean, the ghost was probably pretty happy we took that thing out. So
Probably.
let's
All
start
right.
with the drive-by. Is the grass greener at the other house?
As you drive by across town, they had to see if the grass is greener on the other side. Um, you drive by the house. First thing you notice is a very large U-Haul parked in the driveway. The grass is not greener, but it's not more dead.
So they're moving.
Well, so we already tried to buy the house, remember, with the uncle and nephew routine. So uh
Yeah.
maybe people next of kin moving out. It doesn't a couple weeks. It's probably not enough time to like empty the house and get it on the market and get it sold, right? I mean, there's going to
Housing
be an
market's
estate
wild.
involved. They have housing
I
market as well.
I
Live in
mean,
a rental too. Quick turnover on a rental. Did we figure out if it was a rental, Bruce? I don't remember
You
that.
did find out that it was bought out from the woman who lived there and passed away, and then was put into this. He purchased it and owned it.
It's only been a couple weeks, so it's probably not people moving in unless it's like family moving in. I don't know. Somebody's in there. We can go knock. Well, maybe. I don't know.
ooh. Something call a realtor. Um if we're trying to figure out, nope, it's there. I'm so close to an idea.
Is that what that smell is?
If we're looking to buy a house, quotes, call a realtor. If we want to know if a house was sold, call a realtor.
Well, you bring up a good point, realtor. If the house was sold, there should be a sign in the yard, and I don't think we see one.
No, you do not see that any sort of sign was in the yard.
Okay. Belay that last idea.
No, it's a good thought though. We could pop online and see if it's for sale, right? Like,
Yeah.
Googling the house to see if it's. I'm on Zillow right now.
I feel like Brick probably didn't buy his rustic cabin online, but
Probably not.
he probably knows that that's a thing.
Do you guys have a combined pool of 3 dots for intelligence plus technology?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I have that by myself, baby.
Perfect. I was trying to find the most polite way to ask.
Brick is actually not stupid. He's just not, you know, he's not typically solving stuff.
Exactly. That's why I was asking.
Plenty of wits, real low intelligence.
That's also why I was asking. Easy enough to find this on Zillow, and that it is currently up for rent, but not for sale.
Right.
Interesting.
Does it say who's, like, if it's like for rent by owner, or if there's a property manager or anything like that with it?
Looks like it was through a bank.
Through a bank.
Crazy
Do
idea.
you
What's
trust me to
rent?
make a call? That's exactly what I was just gonna say.
Ah, yes.
Yes. Oh, hell yes. Okay. Yeah. No, we're chilling. I was like, shit, I might need like no, this is gonna be my address. I don't need like proof of address anywhere. Oh my god. Oh, we're cooking. They're gonna be so proud of us. Oh my god.
Rick and Riley bought the haunted house. Check.
For those of you at home that have that on your bingo card, please go ahead and mark that off, please.
So I'm gonna make a call.
Perfect.
I'm gonna call the bank and try to get the rental stuff started.
Yeah, they're happy to go ahead and get that started.
Awesome.
In game terms, it's going to cost you a dot of resources every month that you hold on to this rental property.
Cool.
As in, it's going to tie up one of our resource dots, or every month
Yes.
we have to. Okay.
Yeah, so it will tie it up as long as you have this property. Whoever is renting this property will have one fewer resource dots available to them.
So how do we go in on this as a sell?
We already, our cover story is already that I'm the uncle buying it for my favorite nephew, so I'll just put it on mine. It's fine.
Nah. I got blood money to burn, so like I'd rather get that out of my possession. Double check to make sure my phone's like hung up before, like, as I say that.
Make sure it's powered down for safety.
Make sure I'm not just actively still on the line, like on hold.
Rinaldi's like, excuse me, what did you just say?
It's the joke, lady. Mind your business. Terrible.
In game terms, if you would like to, what is that perk called? Is that hideout?
Safe house.
Safe house, thank you. If you would like to, Ian, you could turn one of your resource dots into a safe house dot.
Ooh. I don't know how safe a haunted house is.
I mean, it's definitely got the haunted flaw.
Yeah, there's a quality.
There's definitely a quality for it.
I mean, yeah, why not? We'll do it.
Cool. Yeah, you have a 1 dot safe house with the haunted flaw. Congratulations.
All right. Hey, we got it. How am I going to tell Jonas I'm leaving the center?
I feel like he'll be proud.
He'll be so amazed that you're willing to sleep there. Yeah, all right. I guess the addiction was the trauma.
Aren't we all just a little bit?
Yeah. So I don't know what we want to do in the meantime while we're waiting for all this paperwork and everything to go through to get the rental and the keys.
Well, so just sort of curious, flaws that a safe house can have: haunted, check; creepy.
No, I mean it doesn't look super creepy on the like on the outside. Doesn't look creepy. You know, allegedly, maybe to be determined whether or not it's going to be compromised yet.
Does this safe house look like it would have the obvious predator flaw?
Currently, probably because of the dead grass.
I'm just gonna tell all the neighbors that I'm trying to get into lawn keeping as like a hobby.
Dude, I feel that. Cool. That will go ahead and wrap up the rest of this time here. As we go ahead and jump to everyone being out of the hospital. Riley, you do have the keys and everything. Congratulations.
We did it.
Everyone's moved out. You now have a new safe house with the haunted flaw.
We'll the just two of you did what?
Is there?
Oh, we bought a zoo.
You bought a zoo. Okay, yeah.
No,
You,
so the
you want to
place that
remind me
we
of
all
the address of that too?
Y'all did stop for a moment to recognize the fact that the last two people who've lived there have been murdered in that property?
go look at Brick.
Yeah, we actually thought this might be the best way to get intel from them since they seem to have it out for the monstro things, of which there is another now.
That's cool and all, but like, why are Riley's bags in here?
I figured that you were tired of me at the center, so I wanted to just stop being a burden and let you get back to your regular everyday life.
Mm, okay. You weren't a burden. I hear that you want to be moving out in a way that's a little bit more independent. Try to not get murdered, since you're in a
So
house that murders people.
it's the Scorpion King that murders people.
Well,
Sure.
we're not sure if it's the Scorpion King that killed Madison.
So far, before I put my foot in my mouth here for Bruce, what vibes am I getting out of the house?
Go ahead and roll it, friend.
Are these like, hey, what's going on over there, friend kind of vibes, or is this like a get out kind of vibes?
Well, the walls are bleeding, so that's
Nah,
not a
they
good
always do that.
sign.
That's a feature.
Is that sulfur? Some brimstone, maybe?
Nah, that's
I
just
haven't
well
been able
water.
You're gonna have to tell me I haven't been able to smell since COVID.
No.
Why is the stove screaming?
Oh, I thought that was the kettle. All
That
right,
is actually how
so
it works. You don't have the whistler. You just put it on like a pot of water and
Exactly.
then the stove screams.
what is my pool for this? It's
Wits in a cult. And I believe that's another one I get to decide the DC of, correct?
I believe so. Yeah, somewhere it's greater than 6. I almost did greater than 5.
What is this perk you're using?
This is Sense the Unnatural.
Love it.
I am gonna willpower that real quick.
Oof.
Sure, I'll allow it.
We're getting rid of both of those ones and like one of the 3s.
I'll allow it.
All right, that's 3 successes total.
Okay.
I've had better.
Yeah. But you did go ahead, and it was a difficulty 3 here.
Hey,
So let's
best
see.
friends with the ghosts.
And you have creature specialization, but not for this.
Correct.
And you have.
I mean, if it's a
hands-free.
vampire ghost.
Vampire ghost. Now we're talking. Hands-free and precision. Is that correct?
I've got all of them: hands-free, precision, and range.
Beautiful.
And the other one.
Yeah.
Like that was my investment. Was like, all right, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it well.
You can't see them, so the precision won't quite work here.
Okay.
But you can tell that there is some supernatural entity in the guest bedroom.
Oh, I'm not even planning on staying in there. That's the guest bedroom.
Yep.
Is that where he was murdered at?
It was indeed where he was murdered at.
Yeah. No. So, gang, with one of us being here, I can try to talk to this ghost more frequently. I could try to just like be friends with the ghost. You know what I mean? Like it sounds a little goofy to say, but like get him on our side, and next thing you know, maybe he's telling us who it is, what it is, how to stop
That's
it. That kind of
literally
stuff.
our original plan. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look in the kitchen. Is it still the same stove?
Yeah, I mean, it's still same stove, same, all the appliances are still there. The only thing that's really noticeably changed is that the glass door that it busted out of was replaced.
Well, I mean, it's an idea.
For the record, Brick thought of it. I'm like kind of looking to see if that changes body language or anything at all.
She pulls a pen light out of her pocket and walks up to Brick and checks his pupils. Well, you're not high right now.
Look, the original plan was to see if maybe the ghost could get us any intel on the second monstro, and it went a little further than that, but it seemed like maybe getting the site under our control, where we don't have to worry about, you know, cops coming and stuff like that as much, might be a good idea.
I think that it
Living
remains.
here, that is a little new.
I think it remains to be seen if this is a second one. Everything that I saw before said there's one of the. Nobody has a record of killing, and I think if just hit it really hard was going to do the trick, then it probably would have happened by now.
I just
Well,
wish somebody would have peeked back in before they cleaned everything up. I mean, there's not like obviously blood on the floor, right? The carpet's been cleaned,
It
windows
is
replaced.
it is the same carpet. It does look like it's probably been cleaned pretty heavily. Um, there is a
Good.
fresh coat of paint, and the floor. You do notice that there is new hardwood in the entryway where the Monstero combusted.
um, back to Jonas's point, I would relay what we found out about, it had a different face and a different skin color. I guess I didn't consider the possibility that maybe it's stealing skin. So that's
Whoa.
horrifying, but I think it's a different one.
Okay. Did we, in our research before, get images of the folks who had died to this thing? The last two things, the last two that had died.
Well, I mean, we saw what it did to Caden.
I know. I'm just curious if we have a picture that I can hold up to Brick and go, that color.
Oh, no, I don't think we have any photos from that particular gruesome scene.
So I think I'll try to find his obituary real quick. Then
Yeah.
that color.
I don't think Brick is going to be able. I mean, unless it's like, I think I could probably tell you if it's wildly different, but I don't think I'd be able to say, oh yes, definitely that was the skin tone.
I will say
No, not that one. This man was a summer, not a winter.
it was different enough to be able to notice that it was not that individual.
Hun, this is going to sound real weird, but is there any way you could tell the gender of this thing? I mean, was there any giveaways that might say man or woman?
I'm not sure where you check on a scorpion.
Well, I just meant,
I-
did it have breasts?
Yeah, I was
Instead of
really blown away
pecs.
by the massive scorpion titties that we were looking at while we were looking at this thing.
You tapped Brick and were like, fake.
Not the fact that like, oh shit, there's another Monstero, just like fake.
Those aren't real.
That's just that went sideways. Bruce,
The question was asked.
could I tell at all? Like, were there any?
No, there was no way to sort of tell with this individual. Especially because like the face was distorted into a point where like if you were looking at like cheekbones and stuff like that, the way the mouth opens up, it sort of makes that very difficult to tell. And the body was pulled very tightly where it didn't look like there was any sort of way to tell one way or another what the gender of this individual was prior to its transformation.
Anybody got a
If it
credit
were,
card in good standing?
yeah, I have a new one. Why?
I'm just thinking, what if we got like a high resolution night vision camera, set it up across the street, and maybe we could catch this thing on film, and that might help us piece some things together. I guess what I'm feeling here is that this thing's linked to that castle in Transylvania. You know, belonged to the man with the big D in his name. Uh, the family is linked um, through the great 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 grandmother of this woman, and I'm wondering if this isn't some sort of bizarre ritual, and maybe the dad isn't as crazy as he comes across. Maybe these things are that woman's children, and she's. I'm just what I'm thinking is if they've got any tattoos or anything like that, maybe if the skin's been stretched, we could identify a tattoo, and that might give us a direction to go in. I'm just, it's odd to me that these things are living under her house, and it's all linked to this family.
So like,
Madison was supposedly killed here. Their other daughter is MIA, missing. The mother is the one whose family's related to, you know, Dracul over there in Transylvania. And this is linked in the history to that area. So maybe this is like some sort of weird ritual and she's like creating these things.
Okay. Out of character, did
Mhm.
Riley and or Brick mention anything about the paperwork?
Yeah, you can assume that we would definitely have done that.
Okay. So okay. So if we assume that this is a ritual or something to do with some sort of weird activity of the family, you could figure out what dad is doing with the stacks of papers every evening.
Did y'all ever follow him?
no, because we were just worried about him looking at us and thinking that we're being creepy.
Okay, so based on my conversations with the man, I'm willing to bet he's going out and putting out leaflets of his daughter saying that she's missing.
Like, the thing that we kept coming up against a brick wall,
Yeah.
present bricks excluded, uh, was the what do we do? Just walk up? Hey, dude, we heard that like your daughter's gone. Sorry about that. Need some help though?
No, you follow him and you sit in the car and you watch when he gets out. And if he starts stapling things to telephone poles, when he walks away, you walk up and read what it says.
Did we see any wanted posters or not wanted posters? Any
Want
missing
it? No.
any miss? Sorry,
Like
any
throughout
missing
town
persons?
or
It just in the general area of the guy's house. I mean, we staked it out for a couple
yeah,
weeks.
yeah. There's definitely on every telephone pole there is a picture of a missing poster.
Well, I should have figured that one out myself. But every night at 10:30, that's a little weird.
Well, what I'm wondering is if this. Look, I just got a bad feeling from the mom. She just seemed off, which maybe, Riley, if you wouldn't mind dressing a little more professional, you could pretend to be a door to door salesman and you could get a read off of her vibes because she felt off to me and maybe she's compelling him to leave the house every night at 10:30. If it's that rigid of a schedule, it seems like maybe it's compulsory. Maybe she's putting the hoodoo on him and sending him out the door so she can do whatever she wants down in the basement with her little scorpion children that she's manufacturing.
Kind of had a similar thought when you say dress a little more professionally. Um, how much more professionally? And I'm
She
gonna like
points at Jonas.
I'm gonna like open up like a hanging garment bag. It's like, well, this is all the clothes I own. And it's all just
Yeah, honey, we're gonna have to
mhm.
go to Goodwill.
So, joking, not joking. White collared shirt, thin black tie, black pants. We can go together.
All right.
I'm so
But I want to make it
excited.
cool.
Look, the more inconspicuous you are, the more forgettable you are, the easier it'll be for you to move in and out.
I'm gonna hold up both arms full of tattoos with palm tattoos and everything and go, I don't know.
Yeah,
In
long
this
sleeve shirt.
in this day and age, honey, everyone's got tattoos.
Valid.
Now, if they were like on your face, that might be a little bit more of a problem, but you know
Yeah.
that's your moneymaker, so you've been
Oh,
smart enough to
100%.
keep that clean.
I'm gonna check my like I'm like looking through like bank statements and stuff like that. Like, oh my god. I really don't want a Goodwill. Do I have any money for like a like oh my god.
How many dots of
With
resources
one
do you have?
at this point, because one dot's tied up in a house, I have
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, I mean that's easily enough to be able to go and buy some clothes from Goodwill. I mean, like that's like I think one dot is literally like a low income. So like you absolutely can afford to go and just get some nicer clothes from Goodwill.
Fine. I'll go to Goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
We could also
Couldn't
go to
even
TJ Maxx or Marshall. Just
Anywhere
It's
really.
no J.C. Penney's or Sears.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
You ain't got that Sears money.
Sears don't even got the Sears money.
Womp
That's
womp.
true.
Fine. All right. Let's do it.
Shopping montage.
But I'm gonna hate every minute of it, and I'm gonna complain the whole time.
That's fair. Cool.
Thanks, Mom. You made me hate shopping.
You go ahead and go in, buy your clothing. No issues at all. What time would you like to show up at this wonderful couple's house?
I would like to make this a partner act. I do think that I know enough to actually do them in character.
Bet. Let's do it. I would say a reasonable time, somewhere
Okay.
around like 3, maybe 3:30. You know, they haven't sat down for dinner yet, so they're not pissed off that we're showing up in the middle of their meal. But they're also like, you know, maybe busy with other stuff, and maybe we can hit them with the quick pitch and then just agree to something.
Of course, of course. Okay. You two dress up and head over that direction. Anything you guys like to prepare before walking up and ringing that doorbell?
Just trying my hardest not to feel ridiculous.
Yeah, you got the monkey suit on.
Yeah. Would have been cooler if I had the money for like a nice like fitted suit.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just, it feels awkward and gangly, and
Yeah, that's fair.
I guess Trina and or Brick, do you think there's any benefit to either doing some like surveillance of this or potentially while we're at the front door going to the back door?
At this juncture, I think I'm mostly thinking about just getting a vibe check. And Brick and I can be down the street just in case shit goes sideways. You know, I'm thinking literally like Brick with like a AR-15 in his lap, ready to go if shit really kicks off.
ooh, that raises a good question. Brick, since we spent some time shooting and shit, if I'm going up to the door, should I like have a piece on me, like just in case?
For
Part
this
two to the question.
character, definitely not.
Part two of the question: can I borrow a gun? Part three to the question: is that how I ask?
No, I think these are good questions, and I think we probably covered that. So yeah, I mean, if you Brick wouldn't have a problem with you carrying a gun. Brick would let you borrow a gun. But to Jonas's point, I do think that goes against the character that you're about to play for this one.
All right.
But I mean, it's your call.
No, you're right. We're going full method with this one. All right, no gun.
Did you say full meth head?
Yes, full meth head for this one.
Sometimes your words hurt.
Okay. So
Use it.
the two of you walk up to the front door with Brick and Trina down the street, prepared for things to go sideways, as it were.
So I'll start off with the talking. You do a vibe check. Let me know if there's anything interesting that we need to try to pursue, and maybe I'll see if I can talk my way in the door.
Seems good to me. I don't see any other way to kind of go about it. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, full send.
Okay. A
The
few moments go
smallest
by.
little bump for confidence on the way up.
Yep, of course. Exactly.
Important.
The two of you walk up and ring the doorbell. A few moments go by. And the dad walks up to the door and opens it. Hello?
So I don't want to actually do this because I don't want to risk potentially being rude about it.
Yeah, of
but
course.
Like, hi, I'm Brother John. This is Brother Rick. We're representatives of the Church of Latter-day Saints. Blah 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 blah. Go through and do the whole deal.
That's what we're doing.
Yes.
Is that in character or is that? Oh, that's
a
what
little
we're
bit
doing.
of both. There's if he's paying any sort of attention, there is like a small like moment of realization on Riley's face.
Right.
Then continue.
It all makes sense now.
Basically, I'm just trying to do this in a way that's like non-offensive enough that he'll let me talk for a while.
Yeah.
So that Riley has time to do stuff.
Go ahead and roll manipulation plus.
I mean, my
pamphlet.
My golden roll here would be charisma persuasion, but manipulation subterfuge are both arguably accurate.
I think right now for this persona thing, I think I will go ahead and do manipulation plus subterfuge for this.
How about manipulation occult?
Not quite.
I mean, it is sort of that, but I 2.
2. Okay. Yeah, he definitely politely enough listens. And Riley, if you wanted to, you are more than welcome to go ahead and do any sort of vibe checks on the area if you would like.
Oh hell yeah, we checking the shit out of this place.
Riley, please go ahead and add your specialization.
Oh my god! I need to look at that again and make sure I know how it works.
I think you just added dice.
2 dice bonus, baby! Get big! Oh my god! We're straight up like bloodhound sniffing on this shit right now.
And DC is going to be 4, so you do hit it.
I'm good with that. Because I don't think I get any more if I exceed.
No, I do not believe so.
Believe
so. You do know. Let's see here. Precision. You do know that it is in the basement, whatever this thing is.
Because of my specialization, would I know that the thing that's pinging is that there's a vampire in the basement. Just trying to be coy about it, but
No, you're good. I'm trying to just double check.
I'm also really excited to use my specialization.
Yeah, you know there is indeed a vampire in the basement of this building currently.
Cool. All right. Anything else that pangs off of that? Or is it just the one thing? Any ghosts? Or I
You know
guess I
what?
couldn't tell if they were ghosts specifically, but
No,
any
you
other.
do know there is a 2 more supernatural entities in this household.
Okay, but they're not pinging for my specialization. The other two, correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Don't want to break down the wrong information.
One is in the room up to your right,
Okay,
and another one seems to be deeper within the house.
like ground floor, just
Ground
further
floor,
back.
just further back.
Okay, cool. Once I have that, I'm gonna kind of like shift a little bit and maybe nudge Jonas just a touch, like try to make it look like an accident, but trying to send the like there's some shit in there.
Also, I do apologize. The person in front of you was also pinging of supernaturally inclined.
All right. In that case, I'm going to like with that bit.
Mhm.
I'm gonna like grab my pocket like I'm getting a phone call,
Mhm.
right? And go, now please excuse me. Sometimes those who need help tend to call, so I'll be right back.
So are you trying to send a subtle message there? Because I think that with Riley's manipulation, subterfuge, and Jonas's wits insight, that might be a thing we can do.
I would be down if I could somehow communicate like just in that
What are your
of
guys'
like
dice pools for that? Manipulation, subterfuge, and wits and insight.
so my manipulation subterfuge
Mhm.
is a 6 pool.
Okay.
I've got 5 with a specialization in discerning motives.
Yeah. With both of those together, it is definitely feasible for you guys to both be able to sort of make the sort of call that there is something supernatural inside, and that you are able to understand that they are signaling that to you.
Okay. So I think that Jonas will nod and do like a curious kind of look, like a "Hey, are we safe?" sort of.
Because it's still daytime, right?
It is still daytime. It's roughly about 3:30 in the afternoon.
That's exactly what I thought. My bad. I was the one who put that out there.
You did.
Yeah, I'm excited. Uh, um, to the are we safe face, you'll get like a yeah.
Okay. And then I'll nod and say, "Okay, if that is something that I need to help with, let me know." And then I'll turn back to the father, and I'd like to press a little bit and be like, it's so much more important with the way that things are nowadays. There are things around that are tempting the youth and leading to disappearances and people who are caught up in all sorts of nasty sorts of things. And uh, this is something that can help people to learn and to be able to see the truth. And basically, he's trying to push a little bit and be like, "Hey, your daughter, your daughter, your daughter, your daughter," and not say like, "Hey, I know this," but allude to it and see if he can get a reaction.
Um, Go ahead and roll charisma, and you can actually go ahead and roll your money or your gold roll for that.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
Money.
4. Would it help if I willpower? Sorry, 6. Would it help if I willpower?
No, that is plenty.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. Um, he stops and sort of like breaks down a little bit. Not like tears, but like, yeah, no, I agree. Please, would you mind coming inside?
Sure. There's no way this can go wrong. I think the journalist will like stop and look over towards Riley,
Mhm.
and then look back and go, yeah, okay, I can come in for a minute or so.
During this, if you wanted to wait for Riley, like while you were doing that, I would have made a call just real quick. I would call Trina.
Sure. This is happening while you make this phone call, like the invitation to come inside.
Go inside. Okay, then yeah, that's fine. Then I guess I'll make eye contact with you, as to say like, holler if you need me. Like,
Yeah, and he'll just hold up 3 in mouth, like 3 minutes.
just starting now.
So you go ahead and call Trina.
Yep, calling Trina.
Hey, baby, what's going on?
Hey, so, there's a lot. There's a lot. I just want to let like off rip, more than we thought. Don't want to go into details just like this, but just know that's what's going on. We were invited in, so set a timer for 3 minutes if we're not out. That's the way it goes. But we looks like Jonas has a good line on the file, like on the dad. So we're gonna try to get as much as we can.
I'll call you in 3 minutes.
Thank you so much. And
Um,
then I'll hang up. And was there a vibe that I was also invited or no?
it didn't seem any other sort of way. Jonas, are
I don't
you
want to just
waiting
like,
for Riley to come back?
I don't think that I really understood well enough what Riley was off to do to
Sure.
know if they'd be back quickly. So I think that Jonas is mostly like, I'm gonna try to get out quickly and uh, see if I end up needing cavalry.
Yeah. Riley, you turn around after getting off the phone with Trina, and Jonas is missing. The door is shut.
the door's shut. Okay, that answers my invitation question. Then I will kind of mosey about out front, kind of pretending to be on the phone, but like kind of counting the seconds to that 3 minutes. And I'll send Trina a text that just says, Jonas, not me.
I'll just reply with thumbs up. Brick, why don't you get a little closer to the house?
Rick is definitely headed towards the house.
Okay.
With the probably can't just drag a rifle out. So
If you got a trench coat and a sling.
Wait for
Sure would have been cool to be a missionary with a pistol. Just saying.
Hey, I own one and didn't bring it.
Facts.
Nah, it's a show of good faith. We believe in humanity.
Rick grabs his baseball bat and his pistol and starts headed that direction, looking like maybe he's coming home from playing baseball or something.
Sure. Jonas, you head inside as you take a few steps into the house. They ask you to go ahead and take a seat in the front room, which looks like there's a couple of small chairs and a coffee table off to the right side here. Looks like to be some sort of just small talking room.
Okay. I guess does it seem like the father has moved to, yeah, maybe I'm buying this pitch, or does it seem more like, no, I want to talk to you about something else?
Yeah, go ahead and roll wits and insight with your specialization.
Three. Uh,
I
would
also
be one
have 3, so you'd have to willpower if you wanted to get any sort of information.
that's for sure happening. Not by as much as I'd like, but that's
um, he seems to be picking up on your hints that you've been dropping about the about his daughter. But he does go ahead and ask you to go ahead and sit in there. He's going to go grab some tea for you guys, then he'll be right back shortly.
okay. So I think that Jonas will sit and we'll just take out a notebook and sort of lay it out.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like look like he's reading something as he's
Okay.
just like going over his shopping list or something.
Sure. And he does go ahead and leave the room for a moment here while he goes ahead and gets he just goes and leaves the house for a moment. Or not the house, excuse me, leaves the room.
Okay. Is there a window back out to the front where we were?
Yeah, there is a window. It's currently closed, but there is a window that does go to the front.
Okay. Can I like peek out? Does it look like Riley's off the phone?
No, it looks like they're still on the phone.
Okay. just waiting.
Yep. Checking a couple things.
I assume it's a relatively nice house.
Yeah, it's a little upscale. The house outside doesn't look super great. It doesn't look horrible to say the least. But it does look a little just needs a little TLC. But the inside looks very well put together, well cleaned, and a little bit on the older side. But overall, looks very well taken care of on the inside of the house.
Okay. Any obvious signs like family pictures or trophies or whatever?
Not in this room, no.
Cool. Just gonna cool my heels then.
Yeah. As you're waiting here, you do hear the sounds of footsteps above you. Just in whatever room is above you. And a few moments later, he comes back with 2 cups of tea and places one before you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's very kind of you.
Of course. And he goes ahead and begins to take a drink of his. So you and your friend, what are you guys looking at to do in around that neighborhood for the youths that are struggling?
Oh, well, we're here as missionaries. A lot of people think of that as being something that happened far, but in actuality, there are people right here at home who are lost, who have questions that they don't have the answers to, who are looking to understand more of the forces that are guiding people and their choices. And there are certainly moments where we have opportunities to uh, offer some direct charity. My friend and I have a particular focus in those who are unhoused, but it's more an as opportunities arise than something that we do day by day.
Well, I appreciate you guys doing the work to better our community. Um, is there anything I could assist you guys with? He takes another drink of his tea.
I think that Jonas is literally just sitting there holding it, and is going, well, I hope you don't mind my saying so. It seemed as if you might have something that you were looking for help, or maybe questions that you were hoping to find answers to.
Uh, I mean, I know that my daughter is missing. Um,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah,
How long?
it's been a couple years at this point.
I think that Jonas will look down for a minute, but it never gets easier, does it?
No, it doesn't. It just gets more tiring. He sort of looks down and sort of looks at his teacup before taking another drink, and you do hear the footsteps up above again.
Jonas will look up at the ceiling and go, I hope I'm not keeping you from anything. It sounds like maybe you have family here or a pet.
Yeah, it's our dog.
Uh, if you're interested, I'm happy to talk about your daughter, or even I know that that's probably a painful subject, but how you spend your time, how you get through the days.
Yeah, working a lot. I think going out late at night and putting out posters where I can. Try to just continue to spread the word. Go to support groups that are dealing with the same thing.
Uh, yeah, loss is tricky. It truly never does get easier. Um, it's actually part of what led me to what I'm doing now. Uh, Out of character, this is honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of what led me to what I'm doing now. Is finding a way to bring some good back into the world, maybe even despite the fact that it offered me nothing but pain. And what I found is that you find good people along the way. The pain never goes away, but you can find people to help you to carry it.
Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to do for sure.
Okay. Well, if that's something that you're interested in, we have programs. Take your email and we send to you.
Yeah, I would really appreciate it. And he goes ahead and gets a scrap piece of paper out of his.
Oh, I have a notebook. I can just
Oh,
write it down.
yeah. He goes ahead and offers you his email address.
Um, and then Jonas will look at the window and go, "Oh, my friend is still outside. Uh, should I ask them to come in?" Uh,
I mean, is there? He sort of stops. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. Is there something wrong with your tea?
oh, no, not in particular.
Okay.
Smell it. What's it smell like? Like, is it just a black tea?
Yeah, I mean, it has like a definitely an herbal scent to it. But it doesn't smell like anything out of the ordinary.
So Jonas will tell the biggest lie he's ever told and say, uh, I just wasn't sure and I didn't want rude. I'm just trying to caffeine.
Yeah. He goes ahead and offers to take the tea away from you.
Hand it back.
I can hear your hand shaking outside.
Yeah, exactly. He'll go ahead and take
It's not
the
here. It's probably safe.
tea. Do you mind if I go and pour myself another cup then?
I don't, but if there's something specific that I can help you with, I'm more than happy to do so. But otherwise, we've got plenty of other uh, doors to knock on.
Uh, um, no, I mean I appreciate that.
Okay.
Please, any sort of
And he'll scribble down at the bottom. Um, I assume he has a burner email, but a burner email, just hand it over and say, "That's me personally. You'll get something from the organization.
yeah,
If you ever need something from me."
I appreciate that. And he goes and walks to the door to like let you out. And you notice that he goes to there's a little keypad that he turns off an alarm and opens the door.
As he's approaching the keypad, can I try to order the numbers?
Yeah, go ahead and roll wits and awareness. It is going to be DC 3 on this because he is trying to put himself in the way so you don't see what the combination to is.
Yeah, that's fair.
You don't want just a rando knowing your like alarm code?
I don't actually.
I'm gonna willpower.
Sure.
3.
Okay. I am also going to make a roll here.
Do you need a stealth or anything as I'm trying to do this? Not obviously.
Yeah, if you can go ahead and roll Dex plus stealth here for me.
Okay.
That's the wrong number.
That's
Like
not a great pool.
Cool.
Do I need to willpower this?
He is currently beating you by 1 success.
Oh boy. We'll try.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Oof. Okay.
Got 2.
He goes ahead and types in the code. And opens the door for you guys.
Okay. I'll offer him I wish you the best. I hope that find what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And then try to disappear.
Of course. As you exit, at this point, you're coming up on almost 3 minutes. But you guys do see Jonas leave the house. And Jonas, you can definitely hear the sound of a deadbolt locking behind you.
Okay. They're creepy. As we're out of earshot.
Yeah, and as Jonas comes out, Riley's gonna fall like into step with him.
Mhm.
Like, sorry to bail on you. That was uncouth of me, but it was information I felt pertinent to share around as quick as possible.
I will shoot Jonas a quick text. Go to the neighbors and knock.
Yeah. He'll do that, and basically.
And I'm totally watching the windows to see if he's like peeking out the curtain.
As you're looking at the windows, the room on the second floor, which was Madison's bedroom, the windows do open a little bit, but you do not see a face or anyone there.
Okay.
And that's the room that I was getting a vibe from?
Correct.
Okay. Making sure that I had that. Awesome.
I'm actually going to do my best to not actually knock, or to knock very to
Yeah, you go ahead and look like you're knocking, but weirdly enough, no one answers the door.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just unlucky.
Yeah, you hate to see
Yeah.
that.
So, yeah. Once we're back with everybody,
Mhm.
this is to Jonas. It's like once we're back with everybody, I'll kind of let you. I don't want to have to say it a bunch of times, but yeah, the house is fucked up.
Yeah, it was talking to him was weird. He seems like he is genuinely broken up about losing his daughter, but also like he really wanted me to stick around for a while. Um,
Um, and this is a question for you there, Bruce.
Yes.
Because I only interacted with this man for but a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that maybe this man exhibited similar types of behavior to me previously, to Riley previously? Or is this or was he just kind of a weird guy? Would you say that he's not all there for himself, or would he be more of a just low social skills kind of guy?
Sort of hard to tell. Because you were very deep into it, so like it wasn't definitely not nearly as bad. If it were, it wasn't nearly as bad as you because your um vampire would have told you to jump and you would have said how high as you're already 3 feet in the air. Um and this one didn't seem like that, but they definitely just seemed awkward.
Okay. For science.
Yeah, of course.
yeah, and you said the house felt off, but I didn't. Trina, didn't you like see a ghost there?
I didn't. Well, I saw 3 of them. One in the window right there, and I just saw the curtains move. So I think Madison's still looking out for us. And then there was another on the top floor, and then one on the ground floor.
Because I counted 3, but 2 were no, I counted 4 while I was up there. It was 3 unknowns, which one coming from upstairs, so I'm assuming that's Madison. One from further into the house, which could be anything. Um, Dad pinged.
Oh,
The dad?
Yeah, the dad pinged. But here's the shit. Are you ready? I don't think you're ready. Brick, are they ready? Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, damn
You're
right. You
way
look
too
ready.
excited about this. Just spit
Oh,
it out already, please.
there's a vampire in their basement.
and you let me go inside with the dad?
God grant me
It's
strength.
broad daylight. So,
Okay.
so here, okay. Now, I'm not going to say I used you as bait because that's the 100% not what I did. I took a calculated risk on your behalf. And the calculation was you go in, you told me 3 minutes. I call Trina and I say, he's got 3 minutes. We hit that 3 minutes. Brick shits the door down and just goes for it.
He what's the door down?
You heard me. You haven't spent
Okay.
3 weeks at a cabin with that man. You don't understand the size of his dumps.
I can't think of how long I would need to be in a cabin with somebody before I did understand that, but also, what if I was near the door? Anyway, okay, it all worked out fine.
It all worked out fine. It all worked out fine. So, what we learned from this, check this out. What we learned from this is there's a fucking vampire in that basement. That there could be that everybody in this house could be completely innocent except for that fucking leech in the basement, right? That dude, whoever that is, can be so far into everybody's goddamn mind that they're out here stealing people or like doing other weird shit on his behalf or its behalf during the day. And at night, it's out here fucking with shit. Because I know for a fact, right? All these dudes are out here, all these little leeches have their little gangs and all kinds of nonsense. Who
Okay,
knows what
okay,
this
okay,
one?
okay, okay. Just take a breath. I just have a couple questions for you.
Like I'm full Charlied out here. Like
When we met the Scorpion King, did it appear as unnatural? Did it trigger your unnatural senses?
yes.
Are you sure?
Double checking with the GM there. Scorpion King pinged for sense the unnatural, correct?
If I remember right,
Because
you only picked up on Caden.
I only picked up on Caden. Yeah. These things are natural. Or I missed it.
What is that?
So I'll put this out there. Sometimes I put it like sometimes I ping for the vibe, but the vibe don't ping back, and some things I miss. But this one came back loud and clear.
So either the Scorpion King's not home right now, or it doesn't register as unnatural to your senses.
Could now, okay. I'm about to take a wild step out, okay?
Okay,
Something could be hiding it.
sure, definitely.
That's frankly less unsettling. The idea that whatever you've got somehow considers that thing to be natural.
So, have you ever used this ability on people who were like you? Do you know if you, when you were on the gear, so to speak,
Yeah.
um, did you register as unnatural?
I honestly don't know. Um they so I'm thinking that and again, like it's kind of brand new to me. So again, some wild leaps of conjecture here. Okay. So please keep that in mind. While I was still on the shit, I need a better term for that. While I was still on the leech juice, no, I don't like that either. We'll workshop it. Um,
The shit works.
the shit. They
I mean, it's
they
blood, right?
yeah, but it's weird. So when I was actively still drinking blood, see, it sounds weird. But no, so like while I was with
Again,
them,
dude.
I was. They kept saying that like I had, like I had been given gifts from them, so I'm thinking this might be residual. Does that make sense?
Yes, I think so.
It's like
But,
I don't know
but that
what that
wasn't
means.
like a permanent state of affairs.
Mm,
Like now, if someone looked at you who could do the same thing, they wouldn't see you as unnatural. Maybe.
I mean, I'm
Since
clean-ish now,
right. That's what I mean.
so I think while I'm, I think while they're under, they
Mm-hmm.
might ping as less than natural because like they're affected,
Mm-hmm.
but when they're free to so to speak, like when they're not being controlled, then they're just people. I'm just people.
So if we think that maybe they're on the shit, perhaps the two people on the ground floor were the mom and the dad.
Right. But I also know from my time being on the shit, some people are aware of it, some people aren't.
Sure, sure. I'm not saying that they know what they're doing. Um,
But that
wow,
also
to do that to well, here I am I'm making wild conjectures now, thinking that old Granny's there in the basement.
I
Well,
mean
I
very
got one
well
for
could
you.
be.
He seemed very interested in getting me to drink tea.
Yeah, same when I visited. I just took it upstairs and poured it down the sink.
So
No, I
yeah,
told
we
him I
don't.
wasn't drinking caffeine.
So don't drink the tea, is what we're saying.
And
Yeah,
I kind of need a coffee, having just said that out loud.
Yeah, it's probably best if we mosey on down the road and finish this conversation maybe somewhere else. I think our best bet though is we need to get eyes on this house from every angle, so maybe we can not only catch what the Scorpion King's up to when it's on the move, but also maybe see if this leech will show itself.
I
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate to I hate to say this. We need to find it again. I need to know if I can actually ping this thing
Well, when we were in the hospital, it came out how many times? A couple times.
a couple times, but I was never paying attention like that. And
Okay,
it's
so maybe y'all stake the joint out for a little bit longer, and when it
yeah,
pops out, you can try to get a read on it.
that's fair. Like because it is a conscious effort to do this. It's not just like a state of being.
No, I understand. Yeah.
Okay, just
No, I
so we're
get
on the
it. I
same
get it.
page.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I understand for sure that it's not just something that's always on.
that'd be so cool if it was. No, it wouldn't. That'd be terrifying. Hey,
Honestly, it sounds like it works sort of like your talisman metal.
Hmm. Yep, I think that it's something very similar, only he's lucky enough to not need a little trinket to believe in.
when I got my blood infusion, I guess that either woke something up or gave me something or
All right, let's get out of here and we'll regroup and maybe we can go spend some of Jonas's money
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to not come back to this house without a stake.
or a flamethrower.
oh my god, yes.
It's
As
like a low limit on the credit card, right?
right, exactly.
I was watching a YouTube video of a guy who made one and it only cost him $35 according to the YouTube video.
All
A
right.
Um,
Well, that
propane tank, a hose,
mhm.
uh eh,
It was like he used one of those garden sprayers and it was it was crazy.
That's a choice.
That thing
Um,
shot like 13, 14 feet.
as you guys begin to pile into different vehicles and disperse away from the scene, um, across town, the scene sort of shifts. Looks like a construction site. Downtown. A large hole opens up. And we see the slow rise of a long head begin to come out of the hole and look around as the mouth opens up in its four different directions and closes and begins to head back down into the ground. And that is where we will go ahead and wrap up for tonight's episode.
it's like a gross submarine.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Really do appreciate it. Um, we're tying all sorts of knots here and trying to make sure all the lines and all the dots are crossed and all the T's are dotted. But thank you guys so much for exactly. So much for hanging out. Really do appreciate it. This episode is indeed sponsored by Adventure Dice, so make sure to head over to adventuredice.ca and use code JBrews for 10% off your order. They are a fantastic dice company that has been working with us through Indy by Night, so make sure to go ahead and give them some love and support. And we'll see you guys next week with another episode of Indy by Night, Hunter the Reckoning. Thank you guys and have a good evening.